Have you ever wondered who's behind the everyday products lining your supermarket shelves? Imagine a single corporation with such immense influence that it shapes the food you eat, the water you drink, and even the environment around you. Welcome to the world of Nestle, the largest food producer on the planet. While many of us might associate Nestle with comforting cereals for breakfast, delicious chocolates, and reliable pet foods, there's a deeper, more complex story beneath the surface. Today, we dive into the hidden truths of Nestle, uncovering the controversies and challenges that come with being a global giant in the food industry. Nestle is the largest food producer in the world, a fact that often brings positive associations to many consumers. After all, the company's advertisements feature a wide array of products, including children's items, breakfast cereals, sweets, and pet foods. Moreover, these products are frequently endorsed by experts and satisfied mothers. However, the reality behind Nestle is somewhat different. To truly understand the magnitude of this corporation, it is essential to recognize the vast scope of its operations. Nestle operates in 7 major categories, with the largest being the beverage sector, which includes both powdered and liquid drinks. Closely following is the pet care division, primarily represented by the Purina brand. The dairy sector alone accounts for 13% of the company's total revenue. Additionally, the ready-to-eat meals and cooking aids division, responsible for nearly 14% of overall sales, boasts some of the most recognizable food brands globally. In 2020, Nestle's revenues highlighted that approximately 25 to 30% of their income stems from the food category alone. Managing such a vast global enterprise, especially in the sensitive food sector, carries immense responsibility. Unfortunately, Nestle appears to neglect this responsibility. Nestle aggressively promoted its infant formula in economically underdeveloped countries, presenting it as an ideal alternative to breastfeeding. They advocated for breastfeeding exclusively for the first 6 months, followed by a transition to powdered milk. This approach led to significant issues. One major problem was the lack of access to clean water. Many consumers, particularly in Africa, did not have reliable sources of safe water. Coupled with low hygiene awareness, numerous mothers did not boil water before preparing the formula, resulting in contaminated mixtures. UNICEF estimates that infants fed with powdered milk in unsanitary conditions are 6 to 25 times more likely to die from diarrhea and 4 times more likely to suffer from pneumonia compared to breastfed infants. Another issue was the tendency of mothers to use less formula than recommended, leading to inadequate nutrition for many babies. Health experts have long been concerned that bottle feeding in impoverished tropical environments with limited sanitation and refrigeration could be disastrous. Few are aware that Nestle is the world's largest producer of bottled water. Peter Brabeck-Letmathe, the now retired CEO of Nestle, made a controversial statement regarding water access. He dismissed the extreme view held by some non-governmental organizations that water should be recognized as a public right. Behind Brabeck-Letmathe's contentious remarks lie the company's controversial practices. At the 2000 World Water Forum, Nestle advocated for treating access to drinking water as a right rather than a necessity. This stance aligns with their business model, which relies on sourcing water extensively for bottling and sale, often draining aquifers without regard for sustainable land use or environmental concerns. For example, in California, Nestle extracts over 170 million liters of water annually from local sources. This extraction exacerbates the region's struggles with water shortages, potable water scarcity, and wildfires caused by prolonged droughts. Additionally, California lacks the legal framework to compel Nestle to disclose its water usage, and the company has not released any comprehensive reports. Independent analyses suggest that Nestlé's total water consumption reaches 1 billion gallons per year, significantly impacting local ecosystems. Some as young as 12 were being exploited as slave labor on cocoa plantations. These children are often trafficked from neighboring countries and subjected to harsh working conditions, including physical punishment. In 2005, the cocoa industry came under scrutiny. The International Labor Rights Fund filed a lawsuit against Nestle on behalf of 3 million children. The lawsuit accused Nestle of complicity in human rights violations, including the trafficking and forced labor of children in Ivory Coast. However, in 2010, the United States District Court for the Central District of California dismissed the case, ruling that corporations like Nestle could not be held accountable for violations of international law committed by their suppliers. While Nestle is not directly responsible for human rights abuses in Africa, its collaboration with suppliers who exploit child labor is undeniably unethical. Furthermore, reports from independent auditors like the Fair Labor Association have identified numerous severe violations among Nestlé's suppliers. These include the use of machetes to collect cocoa pods, resulting in numerous injuries to children. Nestle has publicly stated that combating child labor in their supply chain is a top priority, acknowledging that the problem extends beyond their immediate operations. Nestle has been repeatedly criticized for its significant contribution to plastic pollution. In 2023, it was ranked as the third largest plastic polluter globally. Despite the company's public commitments to reduce its plastic footprint, including efforts to make over 95% of its packaging recyclable by 2025, environmental groups argue that its actions fall short of solving the problem. For example, Greenpeace has accused Nestle of relying on false solutions such as plastic neutrality programs, which shift the responsibility of managing plastic waste onto countries in the global south, instead of reducing production at the source. Furthermore, Nestlé's environmental impact isn't limited to plastics. According to recent studies, the company's overall environmental damage costs, including those related to greenhouse gas emissions and water usage, have been rising. Much of this damage stems from its supply chain, which includes activities like deforestation linked to palm oil and beef production. Nestle has faced ongoing accusations regarding unhealthy food products and misleading marketing practices. A significant issue is the high sugar content in products aimed at children. For instance, an investigation revealed that Nestlé's baby cereals sold in lower-income countries contained excessive amounts of sugar, sometimes higher than similar products in Europe. This has led to accusations of double standards and exploiting weaker regulations in developing markets. Additionally, Nestle has been criticized for promoting some of its breakfast cereals as nutritious despite their high sugar content. For example, Kit Kat cereals contain 24.7 grams of sugar per 100 grams, which can lead children to consume their entire daily recommended sugar intake in a single serving. This led to backlash, and Nestle eventually withdrew certain nutritional claims after consumer pressure. However, health experts and advocacy groups continue to warn that many of Nestlé's products are contributing to the global obesity crisis and call for stricter regulations to prevent misleading marketing. This episode uncovers the hidden controversies surrounding Nestle, the world's largest food producer, we examined their aggressive promotion of infant formula in developing countries, where poor sanitation led to serious health risks for babies. Nestle also plays a significant role in global plastic pollution, ranking among the top polluters, with accusations of greenwashing through misleading plastic neutrality claims. Moreover, Nestle's unethical supply chains, especially in cocoa farming, involve child labor, raising questions about their responsibility in human rights violations. Additionally, we explore how the company misleads consumers with claims about the health benefits of their food products. High sugar items, particularly marketed to children, are presented as nutritious, despite contributing to global health issues like obesity. These practices, combined with their large-scale environmental damage and questionable ethics, highlight the need for greater corporate responsibility. If you found this analysis insightful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to World in Depth.